God with that manna, God gave them specific instructions on how they were to handle that manna. You know, and if they didn't follow those instructions, and he did it, it said to test them, to see if they would obey him and trust him to provide for them in the wilderness. And when you think about it, he told them, he said, you only gather an armor full, you know, per person. You know, you don't gather up enough and lay it up to try to hold it, because if you tried to keep it overnight, it would spoil and the worms and it would stink, you know, and some of them tried that, you know, because, you know, always gonna be somebody gonna bust the system.
Just in case it don't rain tomorrow, I have mine.
Yeah, and then you think about it, it was like, okay, well, just in case God don't rain down no matter tomorrow, I'm gonna stay here a little bit over here in the corner. I mean, I know he said don't do that, but you know, just in case, you know. And when you think about it now, they don't witness God all these miracles as he brought them out of Egypt. Now, mind you, they were only 30 days in the wilderness when they ran out of food.
Right.
So it wasn't like a whole lot of time had passed, you know, when they saw the miracles that God had worked for them. Mm-hmm. And the minute they ran out of food, then they started murmuring against God and murmuring against Moses. And so God fed them with manna from on high, but he gave them instructions on how they was to handle the manna.
Yes, yes.
And I think about in the New Testament when Jesus was telling his disciples, along with the standard bys, that he was the living bread and that they had to eat of his body, and they would you know never die and drink of his blood, and they was looking at him like, wait a minute now, how? He said he was the bread, the living bread that came down from heaven. They went to murmuring against. Wait a minute now, ain't this Joseph and Mary's son? What are you talking about? He gonna live and bread come down from heaven. Now we know this Mary and Joseph boy here. What is he talking about? They was going along with it.
He used flesh. They didn't even understand that. Like, what?
Oh no, they was like, what the what? He totally lost them when he even lost his disciples when he started talking like that. But they hung with him because he was like, you gonna leave me too? And they like, well, where we gonna go? where we gonna go?
But we know you the Christ.
So I mean, it sounds good reading it, but when you put yourself in that position back in those days, you have a little bit more compassion on the people and why they did the things that they did, you know. Because when you get to thinking about, you don't know where your next meal is coming from, or you don't know how you're going to feed your kids, you know, you can get a little desperate and get just saying stuff you ain't got no business saying. That's why we have to take control over our tongues.
And you know,